Hi, Calder. So I heard that you were having some difficulty with some of these things. So made a few examples for you. I'm not sure if it's just factoring that you're having trouble with or if there's more. So I'm going to give you some of these factoring examples. And then if you need more on the current assignments like solving using factoring or solving using square roots, just send me an email or a comment in Google Classroom, and I'll be more than happy to make some more of these videos for you if you need those. Okay. All right, so here's some 3 examples using factoring. Now, to do this factoring, we have 3 examples of the X method. Okay, so the X method just means I'm going to use this X to help me organize my thoughts to start the factoring process. Okay, I think you have some of this down. We'll just go through it. So 3 times -8, you got to take that whole number into account. 3 times -8 is -24, and it goes on the top. And then this middle coefficient goes on the bottom of our X. And then we want to think what multiplies to -24 and adds to -10. So if those don't come to you right away, you can use a T-chart to help you find those factors. Okay, so 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, 4 times 6. Those are all things that multiply to 24. But it's -24, so we need something has to be negative. Since our bottom number down here is negative on the X, that means our bigger number is negative. So we're going to make all these big numbers over here negative. And then we're going to look to see which ones add to -10. So 1 plus -24 is not. 2 plus -12 is -10. So those are the numbers that we're going to put on the side of our X. And then your next step for factoring is we're going to bring down this first term, 3x squared. And then we're going to change that middle term to these side numbers on the X. So we have positive 2x came from the X, so it's going to stay with an X. And then a -12x. And then we're going to bring down our last term, -8. Then we're going to group them in pairs, so 2 at a time with parentheses, and then factor out the GCF. So 3 and 2 don't have any common factors, but they do both have an X. So we can write an X or a 1x, and then divide each term by X. So 3x squared divided by 1x is 3x, and 2x divided by x, our x's will cancel, so we get 3x plus 2. And then factor out the GCF in our second group. 12 and 8 have a common factor of 4. 4 times 3 is 12, 4 times 2 is 8. And both of these have a minus sign on here, so we're going to factor out a -4. Now this time, 12 has an x, but the 8 does not, so there's no x in our GCF. We're just going to keep the 4, no x. And then divide each term. -12 divided by -4 is 3. Keep the x. And -8 divided by -4 is a positive 2. Now what's in parentheses is the same, so that's our shared factor. We're going to write it down. And then outside the parentheses, the GCFs are going to make a factor. So the GCF factor is x minus 4. Okay, example number 2. Start the same way. We're going to multiply the first number times the last number. And that goes at the top of our x, so negative 24. And then we want factors of 24 that add up to negative 5. So we have our list down here that we made earlier. So and it's a negative 5. Since this bottom one's negative, that means again that our bigger number is negative. Okay, if this one's positive, then our bigger number, our smaller number is negative. Okay. All right, so which one of these will add up to negative 5? 3 plus negative 8 makes negative 5. So we're going to use 3 and negative 8 this time. And then rewrite the polynomial. So bring down the 2x squared. And then our middle terms are going to be a positive 3x and the minus 8x from the side of the x's. And then bring down our last term, minus 12. Group them together in pairs and find the GCF. So here we have 2 and 3. They don't have anything in common, but they do have an x. So let's bring out an x and factor it out, which means divide. So 2x squared divided by x is 2x. And 3x divided by x is going to cancel that x and give us a 3. And then we have 8 and 12 have a common factor of 4, but they're both negative, so we're going to make that a negative 4. And then negative 8 divided by negative 4 is a positive 2. Keep the x. And negative 12 divided by negative 4 is a positive 3. Now our parentheses are the same, so we're going to write down the shared factor. And then our GCFs on the outside, x minus 4, goes together to make the second factor. Okay, in our last example, same thing. We're going to take our first coefficient and multiply the constant. So 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. And our 9 in the middle goes at the bottom. It's positive this time. And then we want factors of 10 that add up to 9. So we have 1 times 10, we have 2 times 5, and that's it. That will make 10. Now, since it's negative on top and positive on bottom, that means our smaller number is going to be negative to make that a negative 10 and a positive number on the bottom. And then we're going to pick the pair that adds up to a positive 9. Negative 1 plus 10 is positive 9. So those are the numbers that go on the side. And then we're going to rewrite the polynomial. So bring down 2x squared. And then I'm going to take the numbers off the side of the x. Minus 1x and a positive 10x. And bring down the constant, minus 5. Next, we're going to group them into pairs. So 1, 2 sets there. And find the GCF. 2 and 1, that 1 automatically tells you the GCF is 1. And then they both have an x. So we'll bring out either 1x or just x. And then divide each term. 2x squared divided by x is 2x. And then minus 1x divided by x is just minus 1, or x canceled. All right, here we have 10 and 5. They can both be divided by 5, positive 5. Okay, and then this 5 does not have an x, so there's no x in our GCF. And then we're going to divide. 10x divided by 5 is 2x. And negative 5 divided by positive 5 is negative 1. Okay, notice our parentheses are the same, so we're going to write down that shared factor. And then our GCFs are x and plus 5. So those go together to make our last factor. All right. Okay, I hope this helped give you some more examples to follow. You can watch and rewind and slow down as you need them. Let me know if you need another video to help you with those solving with square roots. Those are a little bit different. Or if you just need some more examples for this factoring. Or if you're stuck on the quadratic graphs, let me know and I'll be happy to help you with those also. Have a great day, Calder.